driva den här stora podden. Det är oerhört roligt att göra det. Med mig har jag en representant för alla 700 funktionärerna här. Det är Emelie som i normalfallet jobbar med barn och ungdomar. Här har hon jobbat med funktionärerna för första året. Och i år har hon jobbat med kassan, i entréerna och som väktarvakt. Och det här är, när man gör det här så fordras det att man kan ta eget ansvar, man kan svara på frågor, man kan fatta beslut.
Good afternoon and welcome to the fabulous Falsterbo horse show here in the south of Sweden. Before we start the Longines FEI Grand Prix, let's just let this lady sing us out.
Du tronar på minnen från fornstora tal, då är att ditt namn flög över jorden. Jag vet att du är och förblir vad du var. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden. Ja, jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden.
A beautiful rendition of the Swedish national anthem. We're here in Falsterbo for the 27th running of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. We've got 48 competitors representing 12 nations, a two-round competition, and on your screens the caption tells you that there's 13 obstacles, 16 jumping efforts. That's in the first round. Time allowed 87 seconds, and we'll have a look at the course in a few moments' time. But this is not just about jumping a clear in the first round, because a maximum of 12 competitors can go through to the second round. First fence 150 upright on a left-hand curve down at Oxford, 150 by 160. Then a 160 maximum, fence 3 down to the 3.9 water. We're washing through this. It's the double, 5A and B, right-handed to another at 160. They go this fast, they'll all get through. Down to the combination, 2 strides to 2 uprights, 155, 160 coming out. Then down to an Oxo 150 by 170. Left-hand turn to a triple bar. Then 7 strides down to another maximum 160. Around again to fence 11. Then the penultimate Oxo 150 by 170. Round to fence 13. This is a marathon, 155 by 160. That's the course. That certainly wasn't 87 seconds. But they've got to do it inside that time. Frank Rudenberger is the course designer, assisted by Christian Viegel. We've got 48 competitors. We're going to show you just a few of the riders to start with. Hamid Ali Al-Kirby, great to welcome him into Europe. He's first to go. Then 10th to go because we're missing the 6th rider, Billy Toomey. He's on fire. We'll talk more about him. That was the quick start list in the first. 12, we've got Hamad Ali Al-Kirby, who's just come into the arena. Stephanie Holman, she's going to come in second and flips Little Sparrow, and she's also on flying form. The young, up-and-coming, fabulous star for our hosts here. Bruna Kamiri's in that first. Anna Power for Great Britain. Jimmy Gullickson, he's also been placed on his good old bandway. Let's start with the first competitor here, the Falsterbo, the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. First of 2 rounds of jumping. Course designer Frank Ruttenberger from Germany, who needs no introduction. But this man does, because this man is only recent come out of the United Arab Emirates into Europe, Hamad Al-Kirby. He's based in Great Britain with William Funnell. So competing against each other in this competition this afternoon. They walked the course together. So Hamid, who's 39 years old, this is his he's competing in his 21st Grand Prix, looking for his first win, but being based with the in-form Will Funnell for Great Britain, that should give him a big boost to his career. Only been in the UK for not a lot longer than a month. So great to see Hamad Ali Al-Kirby for the United Arab Emirates, riding Kel Kedan Z, 10-year-old. Of course, Zangazada bred, hence the Z. That's upright, 1.60 m. Made it look 1.06 m. That's the water, 3.9 meters the width of the water. Perfect through the combination. Oh, I was just about to say this is a very clean round indeed, but the fence 10, another 160 upright's gone down. Now to the penultimate ox of 150 or 170. Plenty of time on the clock, and the front pole of that oxer, that big oxer, 155 by 160, that oxer, that was the last fence on the course. So that's 8 faults in a time of 83.16 for Hamad Ali Al-Kirby and Kel Kedan Z for the United Emirates. Great to see Hamad here in Falsterbo, great to see him in Europe. Of course, the United Arab Emirates, who field very serious teams these days in the Longines FEI Nations Cup series. We now move to arguably one of the mega rising stars of show jumping, not just in Sweden but globally. Stephanie Holman with... I stopped myself speaking there, I should rattle that, but it stayed there. Stephanie Holman with Flips Little Sparrow. Stephanie, who has come up through the ranks, twice medal winners, both in young riders, representing her nation. Based with veteran Lisa Fredriksson, and absolutely loves being there. Thursday, she just had one down on this horse, but she won a class earlier in here this afternoon, and she's also been 2nd and 5th in the previous 2 days on Clarence. curved plank, as you would have heard and seen. That makes it 4 faults. Just the Oxford at the last completes on 4 faults. .42. Time allowed 87 seconds, so the first 2 competitors 83.1, 82.4, so plenty of time on the clock. And the first 2 competitors didn't look as if they were rushing either, so 87 seconds looks to be comfortable, so the riders can focus more on the height of the fences. Just 12 go through, irrespective of the amount of clears, only 12 through into the jump off this afternoon. 25% of the field will compete for the total prize fund of €200,000. Now for Denmark. Martin Dinesen Nergård, riding the 11-year-old Holstein-bred Contador. Some impulsion just coming into the first part of the double, having chased over the water. Too close to it, so that's 4. Plank. Two down, 8 faults for Martin Nergård and Contador, one of the 5 riders representing Denmark in this, the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. 27th running of this competition. Well, what a fabulous weekend it is here in Falsterbo. Truly remarkable weather that we're all experiencing in Europe. At 27 degrees out there, it would be very hot in this uniform, that's for sure. For Italy, Bruno Cameri, riding the 11-year-old Falterbo, former Olympic competitor for Italy. Tried very hard to shorten the stride getting back to the double, but just like Martin Nergård took the front pole out. Perfect. That line riding very well. Well, certainly has for the first 4 competitors. We've got 4 riders representing Ireland coming up in this competition, and I have to just mention this now that because we're talking a bit about it, the Irish are on fire here this weekend. Of course, we've got the Longines FEI Nations Cup coming. Sorry that I won't have Jess Curtin, my Irish fellow commentator, with me this weekend, because she would be thoroughly enjoying it. And he finishes on 4. Bruno Cameri, Falterbo, 4 faults, 84.49. 2 8s, 2 4s from the first 4 competitors. 44 still to come. of the 4 competitors representing Great Britain. Finished Thursday 15th in the 1m45 on this horse. Anna Power riding Blazer B. Formerly known, of course, as Anna Edwards, under which name she won the Queen Elizabeth II Cup. Believe it or not, that was 8 years ago. At Hickstead. Well, 4 on the clock, just the Oxford finish. Clears that. Chases the line, quite rightly, because, of course, just the 12 go through, and that would include 4 falters if there weren't 12 clears. So a fast 4 could play a significant part in the final part of this competition. 4 faults, 83.12 for Anna Power for Great Britain. Seven hours drive from this man's yard. His stables, Geir Gulliksen for Norway with Exit of Ice. Zanga's bred. Jimmy, you have the immense pleasure of finishing 5th on his wonderful 17-year-old Odessa Espanyan yesterday. It's so lovely to see some of these older horses still going at the top of their game. I was talking to Jimmy earlier, and he said that his old partner still jumping as well as ever, still as good as ever. This is to the 10-year-old, Exit of Ice, being his principal replacement for Odessa. Well, having said that, line's jumped. Having said that line just jumped well, the middle part of the combination has gone for Jimmy. One of 3 members of the Gulliksen family. Finishes on 8 faults, just looking down and shaking his head. As you'll see in the middle part of the combination. First time we've actually seen the combination. Oh, he only rubbed it with his front and finished it off with his hind legs. .54. Now for Switzerland. Arthur de Silva riding in on stop Van der Voorhof. Switzerland, current holders of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix with Steve Gerdat, former world #1, who won here last year on Hannah. And he's coming up later, that combination, to see if they can be the first rider and horse combination to win the Grand Prix in 2 consecutive years. This is a very good round, though, for the first of the Swiss riders to jump. Oh, spoke too soon. So finishes with that 4 faults, 82.91. Currently the fastest 4-faulter, Stephanie Holman, who flips at the Sparrow, 82.42. I'm sure we will have some clears. We've got plenty of competitors to come yet, but the 4 faults, 82.42, is the current best round this Frank Rudenberger course. One of the 14 riders representing our hosts here in Falsterbo. Jens Wikström riding the 9-year-old Carino B2B. With John Whittaker for a while, set up his own yard with his girlfriend in Sweden a couple of years ago. In a bit of trouble. .05 the time, 8 faults.
Hästen startar med 10 och tappade sko, kommer senare. Så istället har de inlämnare som har vunnit 2 klasser här redan. Vill ni ta med det här Kimba Flamenco. Var inte av förra månaden 2 Grand Prix internationella hardtail.
Now we go next door to Denmark. Kasper Hansen riding Jemison van der Dijl. Came up through the ranks. He's 26-year-old for Denmark, jumping in juniors and young riders. European medalist as a junior. Three to jump. The curved planks, 1.60 m. The penultimate oxer, and now the last oxer. Will this be our first clear here in Falsterbo in the Grand Prix? It will indeed. That's a very, very good clear indeed for the young Dane. We need to take a note of his time. 82.59 the time, and just looking at the times that we've had from the first 10 competitors, that is quite quick. We've got a long way to go, but only 12 competitors, 25% of the field, can go through to the jump-off, irrespective of how many clears there are. Hence the rush to get across that line and to cut that beam. A very good round indeed from Kasper Hansen for Denmark. And it wasn't Kasper Hansen, of course, it was Billy Toomey, who is on fire this weekend. Sincere apologies about that. Kasper Hansen hasn't actually rocked up. It was Billy Toomey who's actually, apologies to my friend Billy Toomey, with Kimber Flamenco, who's won 2 classes this week. And apologies to you, Jess Curtin, for not spotting that. But I'm going to say the sun's in my eyes. So Billy Toomey, who is absolutely on fire this weekend, stops the clock at 82.59 with a clear. And Kasper Hansen, I've just been told, has lost a shoe. Hence the reason that we haven't seen him. We'll be seeing him later. Now we move on to Gulliksen, number 2. Victoria Gulliksen with Deville. Brother and father have been in the money this weekend. Victoria keeping all her cards for the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. .68, but the one down for Victoria Gulliksen. 84.68. That's just currently put her into 6th place, obviously, that with the 4 faults. Unlikely to be in the top 12, with some big, big names to come. We do go to Denmark. Christopher Lindenberg riding at Bikara. Another young Danish rider who's come up through the ranks. European silver medalist as a junior 10 years ago. And now competing in his 50th Grand Prix, looking for his first overall win, and it doesn't look like being this weekend. Well, a disappointing round for Christopher Lindenberg and Appikara for Denmark. 24 faults in all. Now for Great Britain, Samuel Hutton riding Happy Dam. Those of you that may be waiting for the Danish rider Kasper Hansen, who didn't come in his slot earlier, will be coming in a couple of horses' time. Well ridden through there. Still no faults on the board for the second rider for representing Great Britain in this, the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix, 27th running of this event. Planks have gone. Well, disappointing, just the planks, but we've seen that happen before. So Samuel Hutton with Happy Dam for Great Britain, 4 faults, 84.48. It actually puts them into 5th place. We've had a dozen competitors so far, and we've had just the one clear, Billy Toomey for Ireland. Back to Denmark. Michael Arbo riding It's the Senator. 10-year-old Belgian warm blood. Meters from the water down to the double. .150 by 170, the first part of the combination. 160 coming out. I was about to say a perfect 6 strides down to that oxer, but the front plank has gone. Big stretch over the triple bar. Finishes on 8 faults, 85.91 the time, 85.91, 8 faults for Michael Arbo, and It's the Senator for Denmark.
Han vann krigen i Kansumer lite i våras. Han vann
And we stay with Denmark. We go back to Kasper Hansen with Jemison van den Dijl. Shoe put back on his mount. He's 26 years old and didn't sit on an equine until he was 11 years old. A 9-year-old. That's Belgian warm blood. Well, that was a great shame because this is looking like a really super round from this young horse. Didn't look like getting close to any of the fences prior to that. Well, apart from that one down, that was a very nice round indeed for Kasper Hansen. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of those two. 82.68 the time. Kasper Hansen, Jemison van den Dijl, 4 faults, 82.68. Puts them actually in 3rd place at the moment. Now for Norway. SWE Hatteland, riding the 13-year-old Dutch-bred Alex. First time I think that we've seen the second fence come down that oxer. That was looking like it might be a struggle coming over the first part of the double. Finish with the 4 fences down inside the time, but that'll be irrelevant. 86.67 the time. 16 faults for SWE Hatteland and Alex for Norway. Back to one of the 14 Swedish competitors in this Falsterbo Grand Prix. Joanna Ekberg, riding Univers du Vinbus, part of the Stefek Stables team. 7th in the 50 warm-up class on Thursday. That was close. Judge is going over to have a look, but he's quite happy. The fetlock went down quite low. Well, hurdled the middle part of the combination, but it stayed there. Unfortunately, that early fence down. She'll probably go and pop round Joanna now, clear over the rest of this course. Keeping the pace up. Fastest full Falter at the moment. Fellow compatriot Stephanie Holman, 82.42. This is going to be a very fast round. It's got that 4 faults, but that may be enough to get her into the top 12. She looks up at the clock, 80.95. So that puts Joanna Ekberg and Univers de Vinbus into second place. She's got 4 faults, but it was very quick with 80.95. So that pushes Stephanie Holman into 3rd place with her 82.42. And of course, the only clear so far for Ireland, Billy Toomey with Kimber Flamenco. And that's the leaderboard on your screens. Billy Toomey for Ireland, Joanna Ekberg and Stephanie Holman for Sweden, and in 4th place for Denmark, Kasper Hansen. Now for Denmark, Søren Mollerud. Riding Tot en Plans Ask. Well, that won 4 faults, and that's the difference it makes on the clock with the 4 faulters. That's why they're chasing the clock. He goes into 10th place. He won't make the jump off, certainly, but that was at 86.68 at the time. But the one down. So 4 faults, 86.68 for Søren Mollerud for Denmark. Now for New Zealand, Bruce Goodin, riding Bakutor Danny V, 10-year-old Dutch bred. Bruce, who has flown the flag for the last quarter of a century, he won't mind me saying that, for New Zealand, 4 Olympic Games amongst that time. Again, that line ridden very well. We have seen one or two issues, but they've only been a few. Nicely over the plank, and that has caused a few problems at 1.60 m with that curve in the top. This is a very quick time as well. He's on 4 faults, Bruce Goodin. He stops the clock at exactly 80 seconds, and I think that'll put him into second place behind Billy Toomey, who is the only clear so far. So the fastest 4-faulter now is Bruce Goodin for New Zealand, 80 seconds exactly. 4 faults, Bruce Goodin. Bakator Danny puts him into second place, and he's happy with that. He's not happy with the fence down, however. He'd be happy to be in second place at this stage, having had a fence down. Margaret Hartmann for Norway, riding Indy 28. Resides in Germany. As so many riders do, who don't naturally come from the main part of the European Communion. Oh dear. Tell whether that was her instigation or the horses. Okay, more time to look at it. Whether she might just say give it best for the day. Wise move. Plenty of other shows to go to, so retirement for Margaret Hartmann and Indy 28 for Norway. It's going to pop the first fence again. Finish on a good note, which she does. And she's smiling. I think that's a smile, not a grimace. Now, for Spain, a man who set his sights and ambitions to be at the Longines FEI World Equestrian Games in 3 months' time. For Spain, Ivan Serrano says and Didem DP. 10-year-old by Quidem de Ravel. Was on the winning team a couple of, was it 3 years ago at Lisbon for the Longines FEI Nations Cup competition there. That's been his career highlight, and wants to get back onto the top level teams this year. Seven strides down to the water, has been jumping okay. After the water to the double has caused a few issues, but not for Ivan Serrano for Spain. Well ridden down. They lost a bit of impulsion coming out of the combination, but soon rousted up Didem DP to remain clear, which he still does. 3 to jump for the Spaniard. 1.60 m, the top of these planks. He found it. Rubs the ox up, 4 faults. And the last has gone as well. 8 faults, 83.67 the time. Now to Italy. Paolo Adamo Zuvadelli, riding the 9-year-old Olderburn grade Chassieni. And as the name suggests, by Chaco Blue. Again, those planks coming down, they don't even, the horses that have hit those planks seem to have hit it several centimetres from the top, whether it's the curvature. So that was 2 down, 8 faults for Paolo Adamo Zuvadelli and Cacchieni for Italy, 85.41 the time. Twelfth place at the moment, Hamad Ali Al-Kirby, that's the fastest of the 8 falters. Only 12 can go through to the jump off. 12th place at the moment, the first of the 8 falters. Only one clear. For Sweden, Marcus Westergren and another 9-year-old, the Swedish warm blood this time, Kalmir. Nice 9-year-olds here at the show. Marcus Westergren in the money on Cacao on Thursday, his other 9-year-old. In the late 90s, represented Sweden as a young rider. Team bronze at the European Championships. And again, this time back legs. Look at the clock. 81.44. It's 4 faults, but we need to start taking note of these 4 falters with the quick times, because that's put Marcus Westergren and Kalmir into 4th place. 81.44 with 4 faults. We've still got half the field to come, but at the moment clears are in short supply. We've had about 20 odd competitors. It's difficult to tell because there's a couple of pull out, and we've only had the 1 clear so far, Billy Toomey for Ireland and Kimber Flamenco. So the 4 falters, some of the fastest ones, could easily get through into that top 12. Staying with Sweden, Fredrik Jonsson, riding Coldplay. Coldplay, who was 8th on Thursday in the 150 class. Build up to this, the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Been in the money twice with his other horse he's got here, Lucky. That's the name of the horse. Not me making a judgment. Wow. Look at me to the other side of that. What will that do to his... Oh, very, very... You could see that looked absolutely beautifully ridden down to the double. Very calm indeed. By Contendro, this Coldplay. That's a shame about that four falls, because that looked like a super round on a nice 10-year-old. 83.41 with the four faults into 9th place. They won't stay in the top 12. I just can hear an awful lot of noise going on out here in this beautiful traditional arena here in Falsterbo, and that's because number 2 in the Longines FEI global rankings, Olympic silver medalist, European champion, and of course Swedish, Peter Fredriksson with H&M Christian K. And what has this man done for the sport over the last couple of years here in Sweden? It's always been very, very good at jumping, Sweden. Team, so along with Peter's gold medal at the European Championships, picked up the team silver there as well. By Ireland, that was in Gothenburg. In fact, those two teams could be battling it out on Sunday for the Longines FEI Nations Cup, 6th of the 8 legs of Division 1. No one more accurate than that down that line. Three to go. These planks have been causing all sorts of trouble. Not for the European champion. 2 oxes to jump. Still clear. This could be popular. 1 to go. Is this going to be our second clear? Yes, it is. And surprise, surprise, they're screaming at the top of their voices out of the window here. So that's clear for the reigning European champion, an Olympic silver medalist. Absolutely superb round. So into the jump-off goes one of the major heroes of this sport here in Sweden. We're down in the south of Sweden at Falsterbo. Peter Fredriksson has gone clear, and judging by the noise, which I'm sure you can hear through your screens, you'd think he'd just become Prime Minister. Mind you, he probably would be Prime Minister if he went up to get voted. Great round for Peter Fredriksson. 2 clears, Billy Toomey, Peter Fredriksson. Stay with Sweden. Karin Martinsson, just 23 years old, been to 5 championships as young riders for Sweden. That was, unfortunately, miscommunication. That was all wrong indeed. That wasn't. That was perfect. Well, she takes it steady, coming home. So 22 penalties for Corinne Martensen and Stenhager Tulip Tattoo for Sweden. So 2 clears so far. Billy Toomey for Ireland, Peter Fredriksson for Sweden. Bruce Goodin for New Zealand, the fastest of the 4 falters, followed by Joanna Ekberg, Marcus Westergren and Stephanie Holman, all Swedish. But we're now off to Holland. Johnny Pels riding Ailey Spring Power. 11-year-old Westphalian bred by Argentinus. Now what are fast becoming the bogey fence on the course and still remain troublesome. Now on 8 faults. Eight faults, 85.1.
Tvåa i Madrids Grand Prix här i maj. Mitten av förra månaden var trea i Portugal.
20 more competitors by my reckoning to come. That shows you there's just 2 clears. Top 12 go forward to the jump-off irrespective of their scores from the first round. But Billy Toomey and Peter Fredriksson, the only 2 so far, he'll be going in to that jump-off, starting with a clean sheet. Now for Spain. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar with Seringat. Ranked 41 in the Longines FEI global rankings. Eduardo finished just off the podium at the Longines FEI World Cup final in Paris a few months ago. And that was on Rockefeller de Pleville-Bois-Morgo, the horse that took him to the Olympic Games and the last World Equestrian Games, where I'm sure they'll be aiming to be there in a few weeks' time. on 12. Disappointing round for Eduardo Aznar and Serengat for Spain. 16 in all as the last came down. Just looking down, the 12th at the moment is Bruno Camira. His four-fault time, 84.49. 84.49 four faults is the 12th place at the moment. And with the quality of riders to come, not least of all this man, we're sure to see some more clears. For the Netherlands, Jurvreiling and De Waal. And they were third in the 1m50 warm-up class on Thursday. I call it a warm-up class as if it didn't really matter. It certainly did. It was a big track. This is 10 centimetres higher, but these guys are on form. Jurvreiling and De Waal. 10-year-old, Dutch bred. And what a significant part of the championship teams this man has played for Holland in the last few years. Well, I would call that a very unfortunate, uncharacteristic mistake. Get home just over 80 seconds if he wants to be in the jump off. I don't think he's rushing, this 10-year-old, to do that. Keeping the fences up more important, but that's 2 down. And that was indeed 2 down. The finish on 2 down, 86.16 the time. So Jurvreiling goes into 22nd place. Well, as Jur leaves the arena, Henrik von Eckermann for Sweden enters it on the wonderful 12-year-old Tervex Merilou. Merilou, who this year and last year put Henrik on the podium at the Longines FEI World Cup final. 3rd place on both occasions. Team silver medalist, this combination, at the European Championships 2017, and what a fabulous partnership they are. Tervex Merilou, Henrik von Eckermann, ranked 5th in the Longines FEI global rankings. A lot of communication going on there coming into the water, but now absolutely fine coming out of the double the other side, still clear. To go. Will this be our 3rd clear? Will it be 2 for Sweden, 1 for Ireland? Planks out of the way. I can can hear the crowd going. Oh, you can hear the crowds now. Just didn't get out far enough over the oxer, but pops over the last. Well, any other day, that would not have come down. I'm sure Henrik will blame himself for that. So Henrik van Eckermann, 4 faults, 84.2, puts him on 11th place. So unlikely that they'll be in the jump-off with that time of 84.2. Now we go back to Spain, another member of their Rio Olympic team. Manuel Fernandez Sarro and Diablo Blanco, 10-year-old Gray, another in the class by Chaco Blue. Stallion who over the last couple of years has made his stamp felt, certainly. Didn't pick his back feet. Oh! Well, we haven't seen the water cause any issues at all, but of course he might have been slightly put off by the previous fence, and in fact that entire line, it's unravelled for Manuel. Is he calling it a day? Just a 10-year-old. Plenty of time. And retirement for Manuel Fernandez Sarro and Diablo Blanco. Right, now the first of 2 riders representing Germany. Markus Beerbaum for Germany with Cool Hand Luke. And of course, well, not of course, but it is indeed Marcus's wife Meredith, who is the other representative for Germany coming later in this class. Marcus, who's still inside the top 150 riders in the world in the global rankings. He won't be picking up any points for the rankings in this class. And a year ago, Marcus and Meredith rode in the German Nations Cup team here in Falsterbo, which I think we worked out was the first time in about 15 years that they had actually been in the team together. Not longer than that. And they finished second as well. In fact, both Marcus and Meredith had rode double clears. Memorable weekend for them, but this is not going to be such a memorable class for Markus Beerbaum. So Markus Beerbaum coasting home on Cool Hand Luke. Well, 22 faults, so we'll put a line through that performance for Markus Beerbaum for Germany and Cool Hand Luke. Now, one of the mega heroes of the sport. We've had Peter Fredriksson earlier, and now the man, former world #1 for Sweden, Rolf-Göran Bengtsson with Oak Groves Carlisle. This the 27th running of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix, and Rolf-Göran bidding to be the first man to win this Grand Prix 3 times. He won it twice, as has Rodrigo Pessoa and Thomas Vellin. And he's now made it hard work for himself. I mentioned Rodrigo Pessoa. He, of course, is back here as chef de keep for Ireland. And at the moment, he's got his team of athletes in fine form. Billy Toomey, one of that team, one of the only 2 clears in this Grand Prix so far, the other being Peter Fredriksson. So, will Rolf-Göran keep the pressure up on this 10-year-old? He knows he's got to get home pretty fast if he wants to be inside that top 12. Let's have a look. The fastest 4-fault at the moment in 12th place, Samuel Hutton for Great Britain, 84.48. 20 seconds to get home. But there's still several big names to come. We've also got the big Nations Cup on Sunday. That's a very quick time indeed from Rolf-Göran. 80.84 puts him into 4th place at the moment. Rolf-Göran Bengtsson, Oak Groves Carlisle. That was deceptive. That was a quick round. Only 1 4-faulter quicker, and that's Bruce Gooden from New Zealand, 80 dead if you remember, and then the 2 clears above them. So there is a chance that one of the heroes of the sport here in Sweden will have made it through to the jump-off with that 4 faults. They've already got Peter Fredriksson, and just behind Rolf-Göran, Joanna Ekberg, Marcus Westergren and Stephanie Holman, all on 4. Now for Great Britain, William Funnell with the 10-year-old Billy McCain. Finished in the money early on. Billy Diamo in the Derby qualifier. Recently won his 4th Hickster Derby in Great Britain on Billy Buckingham. No man has won 5 Hickster Derbies. 2 of the riders that have won 4 are here this weekend. Michael Whitaker is also here. Coming later on in this class. I've got away with the oxen, but not the planks. What's the clock going to stop at? 83.88, so he's not going to make the jump off. He's in 12th at the moment, but there's still several riders to come. 83.88 into 12th place goes Will Funnell with Billy McCain for Great Britain. Two clears, Billy Toomey, Peter Fredriksson, fastest 4 faults, Bruce Gooden, Rolf-Göran Bengtsson, Joanna Ekberg. That's the top 5 at the moment. Now a former winner of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix back in 2004. Helena Persson now riding Bonsai H. And this wonderful, wonderful partnership, Bonsai H, Elena Persson. We've seen some tremendous performances. 18 years old now, Bonsai H. Got cute in his old age, and she's retiring. I think old Bonsai said, come on, let's go back to the stables. It's all a bit too hot out here this afternoon. Elena doesn't know anything. So retirement for the wonderful 18-year-old Bonsai H. Elena Persson, former winner of the Falsterbo Grand Prix, retires today. Now for Italy, Giulia Martinego Marche, riding the 9-year-old Holstein-bred Princey by Casal. Giulia third earlier today on Courage de Fergie, a 12-year-old, so in the money. Been jumping so well, just a silly mistake. No problem at the bogey fence, the planks. Gonna skip over these last two boxes. Which indeed she does. 4 faults, 85.07. For Giulia Martinego Marche and Princey for Italy. Well, we've seen horses, riders already take that in 6 strides and 5. Now for the Netherlands, Kevin Jochems, riding the 11-year-old Captain Cooper. Just 23 years old, one of the youngest competitors in this Grand Prix this afternoon here in Falsterbo. European Championship podium finisher, both as a junior and as a young rider for the Netherlands. Now making an impact on the senior circuit, and he'll certainly make an impact if he goes clear. Well, he's got 4 faults, but if he can keep the pressure up on the time and get into that top 12, left-hand side of the planks. Well, his score has changed from 4 to 0. I don't know if you noticed on your screens, because that's why I called out the 4 faults. There was a 4 fault up there. It looks like it's being corrected, and that is a clear, as I suspected early on. So we go for clear for 83.92 seconds. That's irrelevant. He's one of the only 3 clears, this young man from the Netherlands. And that might have been the confusion. And it clearly was the confusion. That looked a bit tense for a minute or two. So what a wonderful clear from the young man, Kevin Jochems, and Captain Cooper from the Netherlands. So that makes it 3 clears so far. And now for Ireland, one of those clears being Billy Toomey for Ireland, and now fellow compatriot Bertram Allen, riding Izzy by Picabello. Fourth behind fellow countryman Billy Toomey earlier on today. That was on Christie Jr. Going into the water, which caused for corrective action going to the double, but what perfection riding that was from Bertram Allen. Unbelievably still, like Kevin Jochems, still 23 years old, but I feel Bertram's been around a long time riding at this level. Got away with the middle part of hell of a rattle in that combination. Part of the winning team of the European Championships. That didn't work. Oh, and that's exactly what happened to him in Gothenburg. Hope his collarbones are okay. Phone back in the pocket. Well, that was proving to be an absolutely super round. Sweden has not been his favourite. It won't have been his favourite place the last 12 months. Well, it looked. Billy Toomey just walking out with him there, and Rodrigo Becerra. It didn't look as if it was that much of a problem. It certainly took certainly took Bertram by surprise. Well, what a shame, because that was turning out to be a super round for the young Irishman. Well, it was almost a repeat of what happened in Gothenburg at the European Championships. He must wonder whether he'll like Sweden or not. Right, corrective measures at the fence as Bertram is eliminated by default. Eleven more competitors to come. We've got just 3 clears at the moment. Billy Toomey with Kimber Flamengo for Ireland. Kevin Jochems, Captain Cooper for the Netherlands. And Peter Fredriksson and HMN Christian K for Sweden. Now the reigning champions here in the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Steve Gerdat for Switzerland with the wonderful Hannah. Winners from 12 months ago. Can they make it the first horse and rider combination to win 2 Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix, let alone consecutively? I'm going to correct myself because Thomas Vellin did win twice on the Quest Canute. They weren't consecutive years, but he did win twice. Apologies to Thomas. Steve still in the top 10 of the Longines FEI global rankings, where he's been for a very long time. Privilege for the crowds here to see such a multi-medalled international star of the sport jumping here in Falsterbo again. She's wonderful this way. Come on, Hannah. Just the last. Look at that. She pops over it. Steve chases the line. 83.11 the time, but that doesn't matter because he's clear. He's made it. He's made it into the jump off with a clear round. So this man on target for winning 2 consecutive Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Can Steve Gerda and Hannah do it? Let's wait and see. So that makes it clear number 4. Ten more to jump. 4 clears, which means 8 4-falters could go through. Fastest 4-falter at the moment, Bruce Goodin for New Zealand, 80 dead. Now for Sweden, Malin Berger-Johnson with H&M Indiana. Another local hero. The 4-falters still in the running. Let me just check before Yep, Stephanie Holman with Flip's Little Sparrow still in the running at the moment into the jump off, and of course Flip's Little Sparrow, the daughter of the great butterfly Flip, which Marlin used to ride very successfully on the team before the great one-eyed Tornesh took over. Three to go. H&M Indiana, Malin Berger-Johnson for Sweden. Can they make it 2 clears for Sweden into the jump-off? Planks out of the way. 1 worry gone. 2 oxes to go. No, there isn't. There's 1. Crowds are all going shush shush out there. Just the 1 fence. It's in the shadow, but she's clear. Absolutely superb clear. And a great smile from Malin. So, 2 of the Swedish riders here this weekend, and there's 14 in this class, are clear. 82.74 the time. Let's not worry about that, because that makes it clear number 5. Malin Berger-Johnson, H&M Indiana, go clear in Falsterbo. So that makes it, as I say, that's 5 clears. So 7 more places in the jump-off, 9 more horses to come. Arguably, one of the clears could get pushed out of the jump-off, but very, very unlikely. You would need all of the remainder of the field, the 9, to go clear, and quicker than the others. That's unlikely to happen on the history of this class. For Italy, Giorgio Bucci and Andrea. But two get pushed out, the field went clear. I was just looking to see how old Andrea was, because it was such a superb round until that ox up after the combination. It's 8 now. Disappointing, because the first half of the course looked very measured indeed. Eight faults, 84.28 for Giorgio Bucci and Andrea. Big names still to come. Douglas Lindelow, he's won a class. Michael Whitaker for Great Britain, he's in next in the screens now. Mark McCauley, he's won a class. Michael van der Vleuten. So 8 to jump, 5 clears so far. Only 12 competitors can go through to the jump off. For Great Britain, Michael Whitaker with JB's Hot Stuff. A long way off that. Right, keep the pace up, Nick. Fastest four-faulter Bruce Goodin in 6th place on 80 seconds dead. 12th place at the moment, 82.9. So, but it's 2 fences down, so that's curtains. And Michael said, you can forget the planks, thanks. So Michael Whitaker retires with JB's Hot Stuff. Still a couple of big days of jumping to come. Got the Derby tomorrow and the Longines FEI Nations Cup on Sunday. That's the 5 clears. Toomey, Barriard Jonsson, Godat, Jochems, Fredriksson. And we now know that those 5 will definitely be in the jump off, because there's only 7 competitors still to come. So if they all went clear, it'd still just be 12, the amount of places available in the jump off. And this man could be easily another clear, because he is on flying form for Ireland. Mark McCauley and Jasko V. Bishop. Already won a class, this combination of athletes here. That was on Thursday. to their first Longines FEI World Cup final in Paris earlier on in the year. That was with Bidello, where they finished a very creditable 23rd place mark. Three to go, still clear. Planks out of the way, Oxer out of the way, one Oxer to go. Will this be clear? Number 2 for Ireland. Will Mark McCauley go into the jump off with a clear? Yes, he will indeed. The man's on form. That horse has already won a class this week. 2 days ago, he punches the air. I should think so. Super clear indeed. Mark McCauley for Ireland, go clear. That's the 6 clears. So, Mark McCauley, Jasko v Bishop for Ireland into the jump off, and Mark's chuffed about that. We now stay with Sweden, or go back to Sweden, I should say. Irma Karlsson riding Ida van de Bishop. Well done. Still clear. This is, could be Swedish clear number 3 coming up here. Is delighted. And whilst the clock doesn't make a great deal of difference because she's gone clear, she actually is the fastest clear we've had today. So Irma Karlsson and Ida van der Bishop make it 7 clears in all. 7 clears in all. And we've got a clear for our hosts here in Falsterbo from Irma Karlsson, Malin Barriard Jonsson, Peter Fredriksson, and they are the 3 Swedish clears going into the jump off. There may well be some Swedish 4-faulters because we've got as 4-faulters Rolf Göran Benson, Joanna Egberg, Marcus Westergren and Stephanie Holman. But we just have to wait to see if they're actually pushed out, because we've got 5 more to go and we won't know if those 4-faulters make it. However, we do know that Irma Karlsson has made it clear, 81.77. Now for the Netherlands, Michael van der Vleuten and Ida Utopia. 4 years ago, was on that gold medal. Tech FEI World Equestrian Games winning team in France. Wasn't on the team here 12 months ago for the Longines FEI Nations Cup, where the Netherlands took the Nations Cup 12 months ago. Haven't heard what the teams are going to be. The draw is tonight for the Longines FEI Nations Cup teams and their positions tonight after this class. But Michael looking very, very good indeed with 3 left to jump here in the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Clears the planks. Plenty of air over the penultimate fence, the Oxer. Just the final Oxer to come. He really is a star, this man. Michael makes it clear. Number 8. Michael van der Vleuten. Iddy Utopia for the Netherlands. 3 consecutive clears we've had. Funny how that happens. So that has pushed out. That has pushed out. Who has it pushed out indeed? It's pushed out Stephanie Holman and Flips Little Sparrow into 13th place. Stephanie Holman, one of the young heroes of the sport here in Sweden, won a class earlier today. She will not be in the jump off the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. 8 clears. 8 clears so far. 4 falters at the moment in the running, but 4 left to jump. Only 12 can go through to the jump off, irrespective of the scores. Now for Germany. Meredith Michaelsbeerbaum with Cal 67. 9-year-old Westphalian bred by Carell. Worse than it looked. Big striding horse. Cleared the water by a good meter. Oh. Falters going through at the moment. 12th place, Marcus Westergren will come here for Sweden, 81.44. So on the 4 faults, you've got to be quicker than 81.44 if you want a ticket, or a hopeful ticket, to the jump off. Still 3 to come after Meredith. You heard the whistles. They're saying get on with it, get on with it. She's not going to make the 81.44. Meredith will not be in the jump off. It's a nice round. It's just the 4 faults and 84.85, but outside that top 12. In fact, to tell you how close it is, 23rd she ended up being in the rankings. 3 to go in the first round of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Just the slightest rub. Another day that might have stayed there. We've got 2 Irish Raiders clear so far, and now for Ireland, another one of their team here this weekend. You've already been in the money. Paul O'Shea with Skara Glen's Maku Piku. Second to Mark McCauley on Thursday, one of his other rides. Fabulous over the water. Back for the double. Superb. Getting into a bit of trouble coming out of the combination. That's the plank down right, 81.44, and that's the time to chase, and Poole know that. Now he's really starting to put his foot put my teeth back in. He's starting to put his foot on the accelerator. He's going to have to go some. Now he's going to have to spin round that corner. He's not going to make the 81.44. We're not going to have another Irishman in the jump off. .85.36 into 25th place finished Paul O'Shea. Skara Glen's Maku Piku. 2 to go. Eight clears, 4 falters. 8 clears, 4 falters so far. And now the penultimate athletes. Evelina Tovac riding Castello 194. '77th in the Longines FEI global rankings. Isabella rides for Sweden internationally. Massage. Right. That was just one down. I didn't think the last part came down. So now, as we said with Paul O'Shea, with that fence down, she's going to have to chase a place in the jump off. Everyone showing a great deal of respect for those planks that they would have seen, of course, so much trouble. Right, she's got about 8 seconds to get home. 81.44, she's not going to make it. Is she going to make it? 81.44, no, she's not. She's going to be just outside the time. She's 4 places off being in the jump off. So 4 faults, 82.93 for Evelina Tovac. So that means with one competitor to go, we now know that Bruce Goodin, Rolf Joran Benson and Joanna Ekberg, all on 4 faults, will be in the jump off along with, of course, the clear rounds. Last to go for Sweden, Douglas Lindelow and the wonderful Sacramento. Won a class earlier today with the 9-year-old sitting a 3rd. So the only a clear or a 4 fault faster than 81.44 would push out Marcus Westergren and Kalmir. Put Douglas in the jump off, but he'll be well aware of that. Bounced about 5 centimetres out of the cups, but it's where it landed that matters. Sacramento, now 13 years old. And what fun these two have had together. Planks out of the way. Oh, that's not out of the way. Now he's going to have to chase it. 81.44, will he make it? I don't think he is. No, he hasn't. 0.4 of a second outside the 81.44, which means Douglas Lindelof will not make it into the jump-off. The top 12 go through. He finishes in 13th place. Douglas Lindelof, Sacramento in 12th place. Well, that completes the 48 competitors who've come forward for the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix for the first round. Let's just remind ourselves who the 12 are going forward into the jump-off. Irma Karlsson with Ida van der Bishop for Sweden. Billy Toomey, Kimber Flamenco for Ireland. Marlin Barriard-Jonsson, HMN Indiana. Steve Gerdat and Hannah, defending title holders here from the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Kevin Jochems, Captain Cooper for the Netherlands, followed by fellow Dutchman Michael van der Vleuten, Ida Utopia. Mark Macaulay for Ireland, Jasko V. Bishop. Peter Fredriksson, hero of the sport, European champion, HMN Christian K. Bruce Goodin, the fastest of the four Falters, stopping the clock in 80 seconds for New Zealand in 10th place. In 9th place, I should say. In 10th, Rolf Joran Benson with Oak Groves Carlisle with 4 faults. Also with 4 faults, the last 2 competitors, also both for Sweden, Joanna Egberg, Univers de Vinbus, and Marcus Westergren and Kalmir. The last 4 are on 4 faults. They carry that forward. 12 into the jump-off. We'll be back with you on air to cover the jump-off in about 10 minutes' time here from beautiful Falsterbo. Be back with you shortly.
Snabbast då är det sist. De har med sig i förekommande fall felet. Så att det är Marcus Westergren har med sig 4 fel. Johanna Ekberg har med sig 4 fel. Rolf Bengtsson har med sig 4 fel. Har 4 fel.
Just select your show or competition for the time table and then decide whether you want to mark the overall production of material performance or you can test your expertise in scoring movement by movement. The audience's average will be announced after the official results. Prepare your results in the app. When the next one writers the app will let you know it's time to get ready for scoring. FEI Jumping Nations Cup series in its 109th year is equestrian sport's oldest and most prestigious team challenge, with national teams from around the world competing for one of the most coveted prizes in the Olympic discipline. The global series is contested across 13 qualifiers featuring up to 50 nations all jumping for ultimate victory in one thrilling final. The competition format, round 1. 4 riders per nation come forward to jump a maximum height 1.60 m course under the set time allowed. Round 2. Riders take on the same course and the best 3 scores count. The nation with the least penalties accumulated over the 2 rounds wins. All nations jump for points to qualify for the final. Teams get maximum 100 points for a win, 90 for second, 80 for third, and so on down the leaderboard. Points from each nation's best 4 qualifiers throughout the season will count. 18 teams qualify for the final to become the Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup winner. For more information, go to fei.org and don't forget to support your nation.
Andra runda. Startar med hinder nummer 13, alltså mitt på Lars Adini. Långsida. Därefter nummer 15, det är nummer 3 åt andra hållet. Sen går de med hinder nummer 16, det är nummer 2 åt andra hållet. Sen går de på 8, 9, 7C, 5AB och nummer 6. Sista hindret alltså är nummer 6. Longines som nu står precis mellan pulvergraven och framför domarläktaren. Och matchtiden är 61 sekunder. The second round, obstacle 30, and then 50, and there's obstacle 3 the other way, and then 60, obstacle 2 the other way, and then 8, 9, 7C, 5A, B, and 6. Time allowed 61 seconds. Maxtiden är alltså 61 sekunder. Och de 4 som har 4 fel med sig, de har med sig filen till andra rundan. Och sen är det tiderna i andra rundan som är utslagsgivande.
Welcome back to Falsterbo in the south of Sweden, 28 degrees. That's the outside temperature, but the temperature in the competition is a lot warmer than that. Let's look at the jump off of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Fence 13 and Oxer to get us underway. Then left-handed to what was fence 3 backwards at 1.60 m. A 180-degree turn to an Oxer, and then a near 360 degrees back to another Oxer, 150 by 170. Another turn to the left, 180 degrees to the treble bar, and then they've got to go to the last part of the combination. That's showing you round the wall. I think they can go inside the wall to 7C, what was 7C. Then across to the double, the 5A and B from the first round. 1 to go, an upright at 1.60 m, what was fence 6, and that completes the jump off course here. 12 forward in the jump off, jumping in reverse order from the first round. Time allowed at 61 seconds. Course designer Frank Rottenberger. What a great job Frank Rottenberger and Christian Weigard did in the first round. 12 maximum 12 forward from the jump off. 4 of those come forward on 4 faults. The other 8 are clear from the first round. Jumping in reverse order, 4 Sweden, of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 12 are Swedish. That makes 50%. I went to school once. Marcus Westergren and Kalmir on 4 faults from the first round for Sweden. 9-year-old Kalmir, Swedish warm blood, by Callahan VDL. Crept into the jump off with a time of 81.44. Just 4 faulters made it. 4 faulters, I should say, made it. Right. 27th running of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Last year's winner, Steve Gerdat, with Hannah, will be 9th of the 12th to go, defending their title. But before we get there, we've got a few other competitors, 4 of them on 4 faults. This is the first of them, Marcus Westergren and Kalmir. Right, that's the Oxa. That's 1.60 m. That was fence 3 in the first round, but going backwards. Now a loop to fence 6. That was the second. It's right. Now right-handed. It's all twist and turns, this first part. The second part of the course is all about galloping. Plank. Oh! How did that stay there? He's got 4 faults on the board already. Now the sloping poles, 2 meters wide. Now will he go inside or outside the wall? He's gone outside the wall. I think there may be a chance that somebody will go inside there to get the best of the time, or it may be just too much of a risk. 4 faults. That's the double. 1 to go. Clear through the double. Galloping towards the last, the 1.60 m upright. Pings over that, drags it down to the ground, and puts it on the floor, 8 faults, and his time 57.36. 8 faults, 57.36, so that makes a total, sorry, total of 8. Total of 8, I do apologise, a total of 8, he got another 4. Right, 3 4-faulters to go, 2 of them for the hosts here in Falsterbo. Joanna Ekberg, Univers de Vindus. Brought forward. Well listened. She battles the plank as well, and it stays there. Now, where will she go? Will she try and go inside the wall? Is she going to risk it? Yes, she is. She's going inside the wall. She knows she's got some ground to make up. Brilliant, Joanna Ekberg. Look at the angle. She's come in too much of an angle, possibly, but she had to go for it. Full marks to her. And finishes on 12, 55.09. 55.09. And he just saw a shoe come off there as she landed over the double. The shoe flicked off. No harm, of course, to the horse on the grass, walking out perfectly sound. Just lost a shoe. This man will make sure everything's in place at the start. Rolf, Joran Benson, Oak Groves, Carlisle. bidding to be the first rider to win 3 Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Brings forward the 4 faults from the first round. Added pressure. He's been here so many times before. I don't just mean Falsterbo. I mean, look at the angle he took that ox up. I mean, with ground to make up. Oof, he's jumping at angles with the next fence in mind. Look at this. Oh, didn't get away with that. Just lost a bit of impulsion on that last kink of a turn. Eight faults in total, 54.14. Well, it puts him into first place, but we're a long way off completion of this course with 8 clear rounds to come into the arena. And Rolf added 4 faults to his first round, made every angle he had to take, being on the back foot with that 4 faults. 8 faults, 54.14 for Rolf Benson, former world #1 for Sweden. Now for New Zealand, Bruce Gooden. Fastest of the 4 faulters from the first round of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. For New Zealand, Bruce Gooden, Bakator Danny. Smooth turn to the treble bar, staying on that nice curvature, but not on the horse, which is a slight issue. Well, that was looking really superb. Bruce Gooden eliminated, no one hurt, gentle fall. Bakator Danny, I think, just thought the angle. Thought, hold on a minute. Are you serious? Looks like he could have jumped it from there, but I think the 10-year-old just thought, do you know what? Not today. Right. So, elimination for Bruce Gooden, Bakator Danny. Now, the next 8 to come are all with 0 faults from the first round. First in the arena, Peter Fredriksson, H&M Christian K. European champion amongst many other medals. We've seen a 54.14 seconds from Rolf Benson with 1 down. Ooh. Fabulous angle. Does that set him up for this treble bar, and then will that set him up for what's proving to be a bit of a tight turn? That's the shot that Bruce Gooden wanted. Peter Fredriksson got it. The double. 1 to go. Still clear for Sweden. Peter Fredriksson. H&M Christian K flies over the last. 56.37 seconds. That's the leader. And not surprisingly, very popular indeed. The hero from the Gothenburg European Championships not very long ago. They're such a brilliant crowd, the Swedes. They're so knowledgeable and so appreciative. So, in to the lead with 7 to go. Peter Fredriksson, HMN Christian K, but he will know it is by no means over with the 7 that have got to follow him. First of those 7 for Ireland, 2 Irish riders in this jump-off. Mark McCauley, Jasko V. Bishop. Mark having a good look around. Of course, the riders don't get an opportunity to come back in and walk the course. They have to check out what the jump-off course is when they walk the initial round, of which when all the other fences are in the arena. So there is a benefit to going later on in the jump-off course to see who can turn where and what. This man has really shot up the rankings over the past 18 months. He's 23rd in the Longines FEI World Cup final in Paris. Good shot. That was with Mibello. Just took his foot off the pedal there to get the turn he wanted. Just a 9-year-old, Jasko. Quite put his foot down at those sort of angles. He's still clear though. Will he get to 56.37? Now he's got to chase it. Will he get there? It looks very good indeed. He flies it, he gets the time, but he takes the pole down. What a time. But for faults, that will be very frustrating, because when he discovers he had 2 seconds in hand, he could have just perhaps given the 9-year-old a little bit more time, but how would you have known that out there on a horse? Brilliant, brilliant round from Mark McCauley, Jasko V. Bishop, just a 9-year-old. What a super competition they've had here in the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Into second place goes Mark McCauley for Ireland. Two Dutch riders to follow each other. The first of those two, Michael van der Vleuten, Ida Utopia. .37 to beat. We've seen it beaten by Mark McCauley. Just wasn't clear. Shadows starting to play a part. Well, the horse is actually amazing how they, most of them ignore the time, but he rather ignored that fence. So that's 4 faults. Michael not putting Utopia under pressure. He knows he'll be in the money. He knows that as a 10-year-old there's plenty of years to come. So Michael van der Vleuten for Netherlands, cruising home with 4 faults. Pops over the last, stops the clock in 61.15, just outside the time allowed of 61 seconds, so picked up a time penalty. 61.15 puts Michael van der Vleuten in to 3rd place. I would think Michael won't be too disappointed, because Utopia looked very capable indeed. Just a couple of mistakes, or a mistake. Right, now we stay with Holland. Young Kevin Jochems. Captain Cooper, I say young, Michael van der Vleuten is not old. Kevin Jochems, Captain Cooper for the Netherlands. Time to beat 56.37 seconds set by Peter Fredriksson if he dares beat the Swedish hero. Nicely flowing round so far. Another one, that turn was a bit too tight. Into third place, quite a quick time. It didn't look as if it was going to be that quick, but that was 4 faults and 54.82 into third place at the moment. 4 to go. Defending title holders of the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. For Switzerland, Steve Gerdat with Hannah. This combination of athletes victorious here 12 months ago. Not right there. He's not going to make it. Back-to-back wins. If he can do it under 54.4, that's still up. He will go, by my reckoning, into, I think, into second place. He didn't make that. It's 56 seconds into fourth place. So 4 faults. 56 seconds for Steve Gerdat and Hannah into fourth place. Still the one clear. 3 to come. 2 for Sweden, 1 for Ireland. Current leader for Sweden, European champion Peter Fredriksson and H&M Christian K. And the crowd's getting excited because Malin Berger-Johnsen into the arena with H&M Indiana. 56.37 to beat. Malin Berger-Johnsen, H&M Indiana, 56.37. Rather hurdled that, but that's okay. It hasn't stayed there. Doesn't matter if you bang them. Doesn't matter how loud it is. That was smart. outside of that fence to get as much of an angle as she can to what was the last part of the combination. Almost jumps it absolutely square on. Fantastic piece of riding. Now she's going to have to really go. She could do this. Malin could do this. Could she be the second Swedish lady to win this title here in the Grand Prix? She could stop this clock quicker than 56.37. No, she's into second place. I don't believe it. About 0.25 of a second, 0.26 of a second outside the time. I think she was into second place. 56, would you believe it? 56.61. Clear into second place. Well, what a tremendous try. That was a brilliant, brilliant round ridden by Malin Berrier-Johnsen on H&M Indiana. 56.61, 2.25 seconds. 2.24 seconds, in fact, correction of maths. Still two to come. Sweden are currently in first and second place. Peter Fredriksson, he is at the moment in the #1 spot, 56.37. Now Malin Berrier-Johnsen for Sweden in second, and delighted. Two to come. One for Ireland, one for Sweden. For Ireland, Billy Toomey with Kimber Flamenco. Billy ought to be riding with all the confidence oozing out of him here in Falsterbo. He's had a great couple of days on all his horses. This next part of the course where it all plays out. Got close to it, right. Billy Toomey for Ireland. You've got 56.37 seconds. 10 seconds to get home. Now you're going to have to race because it's about the same time as Malin Berrier-Johnsen. Can he clear the last in 56.3 seconds? He's done it! Billy Toomey for Ireland into the lead. This man is on fire this weekend. Absolutely incredible. That's his third class that I can keep tabs on, won by Billy Toomey. The Irish have been on tremendous form, but this man, there is no stopping Billy Toomey. What a tremendous performance in that jump off. 55.8. He took half a second or so off the time set by Peter Fredriksson. Absolutely fantastic stuff, but it's not over, because we have one more competitor to come who could upset the apple cart and bring it home for Sweden. Irma Karlsson riding Ida van de Bishop. Still clear. Irma Karlsson for Sweden. She's still clear. Oh, very close to that, but she's still clear. 3 to go. 55.8 to beat. This is going to be very close indeed. Pings over the double. Right now, can she do it? The clock is ticking. 50, 52. She's done it. 0.99 of a second. What an incredible competition this has been here in Falsterbo. Well, Irma Karlsson, yes, in second place, but that glimpse of a look on her face was she is delighted with her 10-year-old Ida van der Bishop. Well, what Billy Toomey threw the gauntlet down. She was just one last. She shakes her head and says, oh well. But what a brilliant round. She can be very, very proud of that round. Into second place, 0.09 of a second. So Billy Toomey for Ireland takes the spoils here in the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix, followed by 3 Swedes, Irma Karlsson, Peter Fredriksson, Malin Berger-Jonsson. And just look at that, 0.7 of a second splits those 3. Then Mark McCauley, who was the quickest round the course on 54.4 into 5th place. Steve Gerda on Hannah, he was trying to get a back-to-back wins. He didn't make it with that fence down. Very quick time, but 1 fence down in the jump off. Michael van der Vleuten, Rolf Furen Benson, Marcus Westerbo, Joanna Ekberg and Bruce Gooden all started with 4 faults, so they were up against it going into the jump-off. But what a tremendous competition that we have seen. So Billy Toomey for Ireland with Kimber Flamenco, the man who has been on electric form here this week. He wins the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Well, if you look at your history books, this is the 27th year of this fabulous competition here in the south of Sweden, and you have to go back to the 4th year of the Falsterbo Grand Prix in 1995, when Jerry Mullins for Ireland was the first and last person before Billy Toomey to win the Grand Prix for Ireland, riding the wonderful Mill Street Ruby. That was back in 1995. Billy Toomey has followed that up here this weekend for Ireland on Kimber Flamenco. But let's just think about what Billy's been up to in the last 2 days, because the weekend's really only just got started. Billy Toomey on Thursday won with Ardculum Duke in the 1.45 m. Then today is Saturday. He won also with Ardculum Duke in the 1.45 m, and I think he was placed in another class as well. So he's now got 3 classes to his name that I can keep tabs on here in Falsterbo. Billy Toomey Fran, along with his compatriots who've also been jumping very, very well indeed. Of course, Mark McCauley was in the shake-up there. Bertram Allen had a disappointing, I don't know what happened to him in the first round, but he was going well until then. But of course, this is all very significant because the Swedes have jumped well, the Irish have jumped well, and in 2 days' time, on Sunday, we have the 6th of the 8 legs of Division 1 of the Longines FEI Nations Cup. And that takes place on Sunday. That will be live on FEI TV. Local time 14:50 will go live for that here. It'll be live coverage. But today it's all about the 27th Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Ireland, who have not won this title since 1995, when Jerry Mullins won with Mill Street Ruby, take the spoils today thanks to the man on fire, Billy Toomey with Kimber Flamenco. Well, we'll just stay and watch the presentations. But what a tremendous Friday early evening here we are in Falsterbo. Great competition. We had 8 clear rounds from the 48 competitors in the first round. 12 could go through to the jump off, and so we had 4 full falters in an electric jump off which was not over by any means until the last horse had jumped. What a tremendous, which of course is as normal, but what a tremendous competition it's been, and what a great way to go in. Tomorrow the Falsterbo Derby, then the following day the Longines FEI Nations Cup. And it's still about 26, 27 degrees here in Falsterbo. I'm looking out at the crowds. A lot of people who might be just a little bit sore tonight, having been sitting in the sun for the last 3 or 4 hours, enjoying the spoils of what is just the most wonderful, wonderful horse show. It's got a tremendous traditional, old-fashioned feel about it, and that's a compliment. That's not a criticism at all. It's just got a wonderful history, beautifully organised, superb team of volunteers in every aspect of the show here in Falsterbo. A real pleasure, a treat, in fact, to be here once again, covering the classes here in this beautiful arena. Of course, 2 years ago we were underwater here. Extraordinary how things can change weather-wise year to year. Well, we just wait for the presentation lineup to prepare themselves for making the, once again, presentation to Billy Toomey, making a bit of a habit here this weekend. I don't suppose he's too worried about that. Here they come. Well, I hope you can hear the music, the clapping, the cheering, the excitement, the enthusiasm, and quite frankly, just a wonderful summer party atmosphere here in Falsterbo. Captain John Roach, he'll be making one of the presentations. He will remember back in 1995 when Jerry Mullins, his Irish compatriot, won here. Jerry Mullins and Captain John Roach, who were on teams together representing Ireland before John retired from riding and took up his position at the FEI. So it'll be fond memories for John, and that Billy Toomey's victory here will spark in his mind. What fabulous scenes. Well, once again, Billy Toomey for Ireland finds himself in between the Longines pillars to receive yet another prize this weekend.
Captain John Roach, Longines FEI Jumping Nations Cup Director, and Göran Holm, Chairman of the Falsterbo Horseshoe Foundation.
Presenting party, Mr. Casper Gibecke, Longines Brand Manager, Nordic Longines Brand Manager. Goran Holm, Falsterbo also organising committee, and Billy Toomey acknowledging the crowds once again. Come on, Billy, let's have a bit of a wider smile. That is your third victory in 48 hours here at Falsterbo. And Captain John Roach, he's there as well, as I mentioned earlier, former rider himself, and will long easily remember when Jerry Mullins, the last Irishman to win the Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix back in 1995. Irish national anthem. Billy Toomey for Ireland with the 9-year-old Kimber Flamenco take the 2018 Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. Presentation made Mr. Kasper Gibieka, Nordic Longines brand manager, to Billy. And on that note, we will bow out today here from Falsterbo, and we'll wish you a great day tomorrow. There is Captain John Roach, congratulating his fellow countryman John, who's been with the FEI well over 25 years now. And the next time you'll hear from us on FEI TV will be for the 6th of the 8 legs of Division 1 of the Longines FEI Nations Cup, and we'll be coming live from here. We'll be live from here, from Falsterbo, at 14:50 local time in Sweden, 14:50 on Sunday. Well, from me, Phil Gazala, what a fabulous afternoon. Thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure every second of this brilliant Longines Falsterbo Grand Prix. From me, here in Sweden, it's hej då, good night. Be with you Sunday. Have a lovely evening, wherever you are. Bye-bye.
Second play, McCall from Sweden. Congratulations. Falsterbo is your Martin Falsterbo, really.
So far it's been a lucky show for me. Very proud of my horse today. He's only 9 years of age and he performed unbelievably. He's not got all the experience, but today he really stepped up to the mark. I'd like to thank all the sponsors and all the organisers of the show. This is an amazing event and the crowd are very appreciative of what the riders do here, and it's great to come and compete here and be supported by you all.
Thank you, Billy. Please, lap of honor.